Good afternoon. It's Friday. This is the eighth wonder of the world, introducing compound interest. Welcome, global stock market investors. Today's episode is going to be on the index fund sector. This is the iShares owned by BlackRock, part one. But before I get into that, I'm going to give you guys an overview of the market as of today, Friday, the 22nd February 2019. Pretty much I'm in California, so there's 2 hours left for me in the market before it closes for the weekend. Pretty much as you can see, um, my overall portfolio, I'm at 5.76, which I'm up $329. I'm happy because I've noticed the market is pretty much really shaky. But just the way I hold my portfolio, it's been stable. So that pretty much my strategy is pretty much to just focus on the all and pretty much start adding stocks into my portfolio strategically. I'll go over that. As of now, I'm at $6,043. Um, my strategy for 2019 is 60% stocks, which now I cut that in half, where it's 30% um, fast growth valuation with no dividends, which are your Googles, your Netflix, um, pretty much majority tech stocks that they have fast growth valuation, but they pay no dividends. And then the other 30%, I invest in slow growth valuation with dividends. Those are pretty much like your McDonald's, your 3Ms. What else off the top of my head? Visa, Johnson and Johnson. Um, Pretty much those companies are considered the slow growth valuation, but they pay with dividends. So I invest in both categories, and that will fulfill my 60% stocks. Then I'll move on to 30% index funds, which currently I'm investing in the three top uh, index funds in the world. Air, iShares being number one, SP SPDR and S&P, which is number two in the world, and then number three is Vanguard. So those three, um, I invest in those index funds, 30%, and then I invest 5% bonds, ETFs, and with the bonds come from iShares, SPDR, S&P, and then Vanguard. So I pretty much invest in bonds, ETF from those three companies. And then last but not least is 5% REITs. And I pretty much big on the REITs where I'm trying to build up my monthly dividends because majority of index funds and stocks, from what I've been seeing the patterns, they pay every 3 months. So next month, if March is going to be um, uh, pretty much a payday, a big payday, dividend month. So we get so there's 12 months in a year, so we'll get paid four times um, that nice dividend um, every every quarter. So four times out of the year, we'll get paid that nice little lump sum that I'm noticing. So what I'm strategizing now is pretty much looking at more companies that pay monthly and more into the REITs because those are monthly to kind of fill in those months that are pretty much slow to kind of even it out. So it's not just I'm waiting on that quarterly because I know the quarterly is going to hit, but kind of match up the January, pretty much the months that lead up to the quarterly month, pretty much match those up with my quarterly month. What I get paid in dividends pretty much match up months one and two because those are lower to pretty much match it up with month three, which is the quarterly, which is the big payday month for pretty much a lot of for anything that goes on in the stock market. So that's my strategy. I have 78 assets under management. Once I hit 100, I'm going to go over step by step my strategy, but pretty much I'm building up my foundation, which I'm building up my foundation and lost my train of thought. Pretty much in the sector. So once I get the companies that I'm for sure that I'm for sure of and all the sectors covered, there's I made up a new list where I have 50 sectors that I'm covering. I know the old school style, they have their list, but I pretty much, it to me it feels confusing. So I broke it down more into um, more elementary type sectors. I mean, I'm gonna go briefly through it. I'm pretty much, the way I'm playing the game is the rule of 72. I don't know if you guys heard of that, but um, I have a firearm and ammo sector, transportation sector, insurance sector, satellites communication sector, defense contracting sector, raw material sector, which is broken down into three parts: lumber, steel, and then cement. Then I have the energy sector. It's pretty long. Technology sector, 3D printing sector, gaming sector, global banking sector. It's pretty long. Primary dealers with the Federal Reserve Bank of New York sector, finance sector, cannabis sector, tobacco sector, index fund sector. As you can see, you have here's my REIT sector. More index funds, but pretty much there's so, besides the three top iShares, SPDR and S&P and Vanguard. There's Power Shares. These are there's ETFMG, owned by ETF Managers Group, which are private. Wisdom Tree, owned by Wisdom Tree, and then Power Shares, owned by Invesco. So those are pretty much other index funds, but I won't get into those yet until I pretty much covered my top three, which are the iShares, owned by BlackRock, SPDR, owned by State Street, and then S&P, owned by S&P Global. And then I have the pharmaceutical sector, the travel sector, mining sector, supermarket sector, international soccer sector, holding company sector. Now this is an interesting one that I can't wait to get to that. And there's a bunch of those. The media sector, telecommunications sector, waste management sector, auto industry sector, medical devices equipment sector, motion picture sector, home improvement sector, audio sector, fashion sector, fast food sector, coffee sector, fitness sector. These are private company sector, pretty much companies that you can't buy because they're private. But I pretty much, just for me to understand, like, because I run across a lot of companies that are private, and just to get an understanding that they're private, they're not public. The hotel sector, chemical sector, theme park sector, sporting sector, toys sector, intellectual property sector, cosmetic sector, water utility sector, corn sector, sugar sector, and then there's the meat producer sector. So pretty much those are in total there are 54 sectors. So that's pretty much my strategy on that. As you can see, the 78 assets under management starts from Google, and pretty much whatever dividends I get, I pretty much buy companies with dividends. So I'm not at the stage where I'm doubling up on companies because I want to see like how they pay out their dividends for the ones that do, and the other ones for their valuation. So pretty much I don't discriminate on a company if I believe in it and I feel that they fulfill a need in this in the world. Um, I'm investing. So that's pretty much my strategy, and it's all the way down to $1. So, and there's 78 of them, and it's possible to do once you start buying. It's like like soldiers of yours, or you could put it, you can refer to them as building your pyramid. You're the pharaoh building your pyramid. There's just so many games you can play with yourself to um, keep yourself motivated. And I know a lot of people now, it's just, for me, it's just a game. I'm a gamer. I grew up in the gaming world as a kid, but now that I'm older, I pretty much I just don't have the time for it because I'm just busy with my life. You know, building my company, going to school, uh, raising my family. So this is pretty much, this keeps my sanity. So just learning about companies around the world and how they work, and now that I'm into portfolio ratios, which I gave you, it's kind of opened my mind up to a whole nother world. And as you can see, um, my goal for this for the annual percentage, I want to stay at between 7 and 10. So I mean, my confidence this year is pretty much stronger than last year, because last year I was on 95%. My portfolio was 95% stocks, and then 5% REITs. So now that I'm kind of diversifying my portfolio, I've noticed that my percentage overall is 5.75 because of what happened here. I don't want to repeat, so I pretty much learned this lesson. So a lot of people out there, they're afraid to make mistakes and all that, but the mistakes is what's gonna make you a better person, and you learn from it, like how I did. So um, I'm curious to see how this year plays out. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got on that. So let's jump into it. This is the index fund sector, iShares, owned by BlackRock, part one. The first company I'm going to give you is, well, BlackRock, who pretty much they own and manage iShares. And let's look at the 5 year. Black BlackRock peaked on January 19th, 2018 at $590.26. Current market price $436.72. About BlackRock Incorporated engages in the provision of investment management, risk management, and advisory services for institutional and retail clients worldwide. Its products include single and multi-asset class portfolios, investing in equities, fixed income, alternatives, and money market instruments. The company was founded by Ralph L. Scholstein, Susan L. Wagner, Robert Stephen Capito, and Lawrence Douglas Fink in 1988, and is headquartered in New York City, New York. Before I read any further, I'm going to start going over this. Um, 1,790 1,796 people own BlackRock on Robinhood. So the current CEO is Larry Fink. Employees 13,900. Headquarters New York City, New York. Founded in 1988. Market cap 68.96 billion. PE ratio 16.40. Dividend yield 3.06. Buy 88%, hold 12%. Okay, so let's get into the iShares. I'm gonna give you guys 5 iShares, and there's hundreds of them, but I'm just giving you guys the basics. and for me to understand like how index funds work. So the first one is iShares S&P Global Financial Sector Index Fund. As you can see, I mean, you could pick from all these other globals. Um, it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So with iShares S&P Globals, you can pick from 6 different index funds. So it's just pretty much pick what you feel comfortable with investing. So with me, I'm gonna go with iShares S&P Global Financial Sector Index Fund. Okay, let's go to the 5 year. As you can see, it peaked on January 26, 2018 at $75.99. Current market price, $62.74. 20 people own iShares S&P Global Financial Sector Index Fund on Robinhood. About IXG tracks a market cap weighted index of large and mid cap global financial stocks. Market cap 365.01 million, PE ratio 11.02, dividend yield 3.44. Okay, that's the first iShares index fund. The second iShares index fund is iShares S&P Global Healthcare Sector Index Fund. Okay, let's go to the 5 year. Let's find the peak real quick. It peaked on September 28th, 2018 at $62.98. The current market price is $60.78. 79 people own iShares S&P Global Healthcare Sector Index Fund on Robinhood. About IXJ tracks a market cap weighted index of global healthcare companies. Market cap 2.10 billion, PE ratio 26.43, dividend yield 2.13. Okay, that's the second iShares index fund. The third iShares index fund is iShares Core. Now, as you can see, I went over iShares S&P Global. Now there's a iShares Core. So this is a different. So see, I'm not trying to cause confusion. I'm trying to break this down so you could see the different segments and different types of index funds. Because I know to me, I was all over the place and it was confusing. So now that I'm going over this, I'm breaking it down pretty much pretty much elementary, where you'll be able to understand it. Even you could teach this to a kid. So um, the next one is iShares Core MSCI Emerging Markets ETF. Okay, let's look at the 5 year. Um, it peaked on January 26, 2018 at $62.69. Current market price $51.75. 1,211 people own iShares Core MSCI Emerging Markets ETF on Robinhood. About IEMG tracks a market cap weighted index of emerging markets firms covering 99% of market capitalization. Market cap 58.34 billion, PE ratio 11.48, dividend yield 2.88. So, and I'm just curious if those dividends for these index funds are if they're monthly or quarterly. So, but as soon as I start next month to buy my first um, first index funds. I'll let you guys know in the coming months. Okay, the fourth iShare is iShares S&P Global 100 ETF. Let's go to the 5-year. Peaked on January 26, 2018 at $49.46. Current market price is $46.33. 58 people own iShares S&P Global 100 ETF on Robinhood. About 100 tracks an index of 100 large cap multinational stocks selected by the S&P committee. Market cap 1.86 billion. PE ratio 19.50. Dividend yield 3. So the dividend yields are nice with these index funds. Last but not least is iShares MSCI Brazil Fund. Let's go to the 5-year. Peaked on August 24th, 2014 at $53.70. The current market price is $44.15. 717 people own iShares MSCI Brazil Fund on Robinhood. About EWZ tracks a market cap weighted index of Brazilian firms covering the entire market cap spectrum. Market cap 9.12 billion, PE ratio 18.21, dividend yield 2.35. So there you have it. Those are the 5 iShare index companies, and the total investment for these 5 iShares index funds comes out to $696.99. In conclusion, iShares S&P Global Financials Sector Index Fund. 1 share of iShares S&P Global Financial Sector Index Fund is $62.95. Dividend yield 3.44. 1 share of iShares S&P Global Healthcare Sector Index Funds is $60.88. Dividend yield 2.13. 1 share of iShares Core MSCI Emerging Markets ETF is $51.33. Dividend yield 2.88. 1 share of iShares S&P Global 100 ETF is $46.12. Dividend yield 3.00. Last but not least is 1 share of iShares MSCI Brazil Fund is $43.76. Dividend yield 2.35. Outro. Subscribe to the channel. Comment any questions or recommendations you have. Like if the content was inspiring for you, and share this information with other global stock market investors. Until next time, let your compound interest make you a millionaire.